Happy Tuesday and good morning. I'm Rob the accountant. I like to help people build companies while finding solutions to whatever problems may come your way. Talk to me live on Twitch whenever I'm online. This week will be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 10 a.m. to noon. Questions, ideas, whatever. Let's talk. How's everybody doing today? Do you believe we have snow coming down in New York? It is completely amazing. Big, fat, puffy snowflakes. It's pretty. So, how's everybody doing? Hearts out to Tennessee yesterday. Just got crazy people everywhere, so not much we can do about people intent on destroying lives. So I don't feel there's any real reason to wade into that. So what I'd like to do is open the floor and see who drops in. And what I think I'll do is if nobody drops in, I have a couple topics that I want to jump on and have a discussion about. So we'll see how that works out here. But for the moment, it's Tuesday. I think it's, what is it? What do we got here? It's March 28th. It is March 28th. Wow. Quarter of the year already went by, folks. A quarter of the year. And theoretically, April 17th, which is the current tax deadline, that's right around the corner. And then we're right back into the early spring and summer hours. You can hear the birds here. It's pretty cool. All right, well, look, I'm gonna jump right into things then, because I don't like sitting and doing nothing. So let's talk about today's topics. All right, Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida. DeSantis and other officials. Travel records would be secret under a Florida bill. The measure, which would impose the first ever public records exemption for the transportation records held by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, would be retroactive. Citing an increase in public record requests for the governor's travel schedule, Florida legislators are advancing a bill that would shield from the public any information about how and where Governor Ron DeSantis and other state officials go. The bill would impose the first ever public records exemption for the transportation records held by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. The exemption would take effect retroactively, prohibiting anyone from scrutinizing how Governor DeSantis has used his state travel in the past, and as he prepares for a likely campaign for the Republican nomination for president. So I don't really want to, there's really no reason to go in here. So the reality is they're citing that they get too many freedom of information requests. But when did we, I thought we kicked King Charles in the ass. I thought we got rid of him. And so what gives this guy the right at the taxpayers of Florida, many who are over the age of 65 and on fixed incomes, the right to just fly everywhere. If his business, by the way, Florida, the state of Florida has a jet, folks. The state of Florida has a jet. Do you believe that? I don't believe our governor does that. I think our governor in New York, she travels by way of a vehicle, a car with four wheels. But the point is that they're saying that, well, there's too many requests. How about this? How about if you just 24 hours after you take your jet or you take a trip anywhere where there's taxpayer dollars, you just post your itinerary? What's wrong with that? It's real easy. I think data on a website is much cheaper than enacting legislation forcing all the residents in the state of Florida, however many millions there are, all these governments, to what? Protect the king? Is that what we're doing today? We're protecting the king? I mean, on one side, we always have conversations about Mr. Hunter Biden and everything that's on his laptop. Well, where's the governor going all the time? I mean, they send, the state of Florida likes to actually ship migrants from Texas, which is really weird. Ship migrants from Texas to New York from Florida. So they use Florida resources, go to Texas, or pay people to go to Texas because they never actually put their hands on it. And they fly people and dump them in the northeastern states. This is the conduct we have. But the point is why are we allowing anybody to shield, like to create laws? You know, everybody always says, well, why do you have changes in laws? Well, the Constitution left out, I do believe, women and brown people. And there was a period of time where the Constitution or the states enacted that certain groups of people were 3/5 of a person. So the law is what people write it to be. It's not some desanctimonious, sorry, yeah, I had to put it there, just came to my head. That's the Trump thing right there, desanctimonious. But why? Just what makes you above us? You already went to the better schools. I don't hate you. You went to all the Ivy League schools. I don't have a problem with it. So, realistically, you have to ask, why are you doing this? And what would you do if you were the president? Would you enact more rules and more regulations based on, love it. So puppy's going to be pretty loud. But anyways, that's my take. You don't have to put a law for it. All you need to do is take your itinerary, and on the governor's Florida Department of website, where they already keep these records, just post the itinerary 24 hours later. And if there's really a couple stops that you don't want to be on the record, then post those, and make folks go through the Freedom of Information request for those periods of time. But there really shouldn't be any point where the travel of any governor in the 50 states is not under scrutiny. There's just fundamentally not any reason why that should be a thing. And so, we can't always be yelling at the Democrats for spending and crafting all these weird rules, but then the other side is, they're robbing us blind. And so I don't think this guy should be president. He bans books. He's really King DeSantis. That's what he should call himself, King DeSantis. And everything about him is not him. So he's just a very intelligent person. So he knows what he's doing. What we really don't know is what his end game is. And so at least with Trump, I think we all understood that he's about himself most of the time. So you can plan, you can account for that. But this guy, he's hiding stuff underneath. Because he goes to all the Ivy League schools. He goes to the best schools in the country. The best that money can buy. And then he goes to the state. And he only wins the governor ship down there because Trump endorsed him. And now he wants to stab that guy in the back, for whatever reason. I mean, hey, I'm not saying you have to bow. I mean, I didn't see, I won't even make the comment, but there's other politicians that, they're made or break. They're made and brought to the public by other people, and they don't, they tend not to stab those people in the back. So it's pretty interesting that his own ambition, even though his ambition was effectuated by President Trump, he now seeks to stab him in the back. So, hey, if that's what he does to his friends, what's he gonna do to us? He don't give a shit about us. I'm not saying Trump gives a shit about us, and Biden sure doesn't give a shit about us, but I'm just saying, this is people in Florida. You have to ask yourselves why and what for. Just like the Disney bill, he passes it, he gets mad at everybody, and then fundamentally he realizes it's going to cost the residents of the state billions of dollars, and without the same fanfare, he reverses the course on Disney with some idea that he can appoint a commissioner or not. But the reality is Disney takes care of a lot of things, to my understanding, in Florida. I don't live in Florida, so I'm not sure what they do or they don't do. But I know that when they were going to stop doing what he wanted them to stop doing, simply because they spoke out against a law that they might not have agreed with, he wanted them to, he wanted the state of residents of Florida to pay for all the things Disney had been taking care of, just for political points. Makes no sense. So, I'm not sure if 10 a.m. is always going to be a good time. I figure if people are online with businesses, it's a good time to catch an accountant. You can say hello, send out a Twitch chat, send me an email. If you got a question, I'm here for you. I'm going to reply to these texts. All right. Okay. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll go on to issue number 2. And, I feel bad for her. I really don't. But, this is what happens when you get brought along for the ride and you don't really have any conviction. I think that's a word that's missing in the United States of America, conviction. I don't have a problem with what people believe or think. No problem. Do what you want. But people flip so quick when it's out of their, when it's not popular. They just jump ship. So I think everybody knows. I don't think we have to read the article, but I think there's very few people in the United States that would think that VP Kamala Harris should be the president. It just there's just a lot of problems, and these are the things that we have to talk about with Biden and what he's going to do, because there is no succession plan. And I always tell everybody, if the choice comes down to DeSantis and Miss Harris, if that's the choice this year or in 2 years, whatever, I think a majority of the country will go with this guy, even if they don't like him. But I don't think he's going to win against Trump. So then it's going to really come down to Trump and Harris, and I can't imagine what it's gonna be like, because he was terrible when it was Clinton. He's gonna be awful on her. So, just two little things. I'm not, I pay attention, but there's not much we can do. I don't live in the state of Florida. This governor's not taking my money, and I didn't know that governors needed private jets, or the state of Florida needed a jet. It seems kind of odd. But I guess it is a big state, so might as well, why go buy a car? Saves people money. I know jets cost like a ridiculous amount of money, sometimes like, $3,000 to $5,000 an hour to run, plus all the other costs and expense with them. So, that's it. I'm gonna knock that out. So, that's it. I'll be here. Here to answer any questions you have. There's got to be some things out there that you guys want to do, that you want to make happen. Something. Look at this guy. Let's make sure we're recording here. I'm always going to check. Look at this guy here. You gotta love LinkedIn. LinkedIn is when you sign up for LinkedIn, everybody in the world suddenly has something to sell you. But this is pretty audacious. It really is. First of all, like, you don't look like that at all. Like, that was like when you were 30 years old. I don't put my picture online. I think it's stupid, but that's just me. But if you're gonna put your picture, maybe you should put your real picture. But I'm gonna go right into the heart of New York City and step on everyone's toes today. The thing is I don't think Governor Cuomo realizes that nobody really wants him anymore. It's time for him to actually go somewhere, like into the retirement community. We really need to start talking about why we keep having like folks very, very old. Here's an interesting fact. In New York State, I believe it's 72 years old that they make you force you to resign from being a judge. The judges have fought it and they have lost. And then I also believe it's 65 that you're no longer to be a commercial pilot. So in matters of law in New York, you're deemed to just, maybe the age might have a bearing on the influence of your judgment. No big deal, one way or another. They just don't want to risk it. And on the plane side of things, there's a certain health component and mindset, I would say, that we want to make sure is fully competent for people flying the planes. And they don't allow that after a certain age. So if those two areas deem a certain age to be unworthy of successful completion, then why do we send people for the presidency and governorship that are like, they should be on vacation somewhere? So it's just interesting to see it. But, one more politician who, he just doesn't want to be what he is. What's wrong with getting old? If you're gonna take the time to take a picture of yourself, you need to take the time to call in. Why not use something from, like present day? But they're all fake. They only care about themselves. They don't give a shit. So